Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Jayla. So I wanted to do a video that was requested by Hazel. I'll put your thing right here. I kind of want to make this into maybe like a series just because there's so many things that I could think of to say that I can't put it all in one video, but I made a list of some things to start off with that I immediately thought of that I wish that someone had been there to tell me or teach me about when I was younger. And I have a older sister and I have a mom and all that, but our relationship has always been super rocky and I don't have a great relationship with either of them. It's always been Sorry if the rain is like super loud right now. I'll try to talk a little bit louder if I can. But there's so many things that I wish that my big sister and my mom could have been there to tell me about and teach me about, and that I didn't have to learn it all on my own. Some of the things on the list is like specifically for the girlies, but I feel like a lot of this can be applied to just anybody in general. There's so many things that when you are a young girl and you are going through your teen years, your young adult years, getting into your adult years, there's so many things that you learn, so many lessons that you face, so many mistakes that you make that it's really hard to navigate life and you feel like you're the only one that's going through that, and it's really just not the case. I feel like just people don't really talk about it that much, how hard it is to be a young girl, especially in nowadays. Like, I can't imagine how things would be in my middle school and high school days if social media was as big as it is right now. Like, obviously there was still social media around, but it wasn't like at the forefront. I never felt like pressured or I never felt insecure because of social media when I was younger. And I feel like that's so hard to avoid nowadays that I really hope that you guys are doing okay. So I have like a list of things. I think I have like 15 things that I wanted to start off with for this first like episode or whatever of things that I wanted to talk about that I wish that my big sis would have gave me. So the first one that I have is like maybe a little TMI, but when you're shaving like down there, if that's the choice that you want to make for your body, make sure that you're shaving in the direction that the hair is growing, and also know that really there's so many tips and tricks out there for how to shave and how to not get ingrown hairs, how to not get bumps and stuff like that, but it's going to be inevitable. I mean, it's going to happen, and like you can be a guru and it can still happen. So just know that there's nothing wrong with you. Like, it's fine to not, like, it's not supposed to be so pretty perfect and like smooth down there. Like, it's fine. You'll be okay. I promise. And just making sure that you don't use anything that is scented. Don't use any kind of scented lotion, any kind of scented soaps, anything like that. Water goes a long way with just cleaning up down there and just like making sure you're wiping the right way. Make sure you're wiping from the front to the back and not back to the front, stuff like that. Just making sure that you are keeping it healthy and clean down there. So for my next one, this one is a little bit more like, okay, my list is kind of like all over the place. I don't really have any rhyme or reason. This is just kind of what I thought of, and I thought I should just put it like this. So my next one is that you're going to grow out of people slash lose people. This one is so hard. I feel like, and I'm not even talking about relationships, I'm talking about friendships. Like, you're gonna lose friends and you're going to lose BFF. Like, I've had so many instances of where I thought this person's gonna be my friend forever. Like, we're so close, we hang out and stuff like that. And it just doesn't work out, and you just grow apart. And sometimes it's not even something that really happens, that's just the natural flow of life. You guys were just meant to have a certain period of time together, and then after that, you kind of just drift apart. And that can be so hard Like, friend breakups and issues with your friends is so heartbreaking. I feel like more heartbreaking than a lot of other things. For the middle school that I went to, I had a group of friends and we weren't super close, but these were the people that I had grown up with since like first grade. So I knew all these people up until what, like eighth grade. And then moving into high school, we moved houses, so we were in a different like area. I can't remember what the term is that they use for like how it determines where you go to school, but I ended up going to a different high school than everyone that I thought I was going to be going to with. So when I got to high school, I didn't know anybody and I lost all those connections that I had previously, and it freaked me out so much. But just knowing that people are going to come and go, and it's going to be really hard, and feel it to its core, and then just move on and make new connections, new memories, because you shouldn't be too attached to anybody, in all honesty. It's awesome to have really great friends, to have best friends, to have a really good support system, but just know that it might not last forever, and that's okay. Just be appreciative for any of the memories, any of the moments that you guys have together before that ends, because you never know when it'll end. And it could be something over an issue that you guys have together or just naturally, but it can be really hard to deal with. And I know that for me, I didn't have anyone I felt like I could go to talk to about it. Just know that you're not alone and that more people will come. There will always be people coming into your life. For my next one, I have talking about menstruation products. And when I first got my period, I didn't tell anyone for like a year. And that sounds kind of crazy, but it's true, just because my home life was so bad that I didn't feel comfortable going to anyone and telling anyone that I had my cycle, just because I felt like a burden. And that's a whole nother like topic that I'll get into on another video. But because I didn't have anyone to teach me about what it was like to have a cycle, what it was like to be on your period, I like freaked out. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have anything. I didn't have like the supplies I needed to I don't know, be prepared, I guess. And when I had my first period, and I guess like a few years after that, my cramps were like out of control. They were so horrible. I felt like I was debilitated. Like, I would be laying in bed, I couldn't like walk, I couldn't think straight. Everything was just, it hurt so much. It felt like I was dying. And I would, man, my mom would be like wondering like, what's wrong with me? Why am I feeling like this? And I didn't want to say anything, and I would try to take medicine to make it feel better and all that. But long story short, there's different products that you can use that serve different purposes for your menstruation. And I personally, for about, let's see, 5 years now, I believe, about 5 years, I've been using a cup. I'll put like a picture here so you can see what it looks like. But I've been using a cup for a multitude of different reasons. One, because pads is not enough for me. Like, it's just not enough support. It doesn't carry enough for me. My cycles are too heavy for that. And tampons, like, they kind of scare me. I don't know about you guys, but tampons kind of scare me a little bit. And I mostly use those for ever since I started my cycle in middle school, and up until I moved on to the cup, I used tampons, but I hated it so much. And just knowing that there's different options that you can choose from, and learning your body, learning what works for you, what works for your cycle, maybe switch things out throughout your period. Because I know for me, I have a heavier flow in the beginning, and then towards the end it's less than, so I might not have to use my cup for the whole time. Maybe you could use your pad for your lighter flows, and then maybe a tampon or a cup for your heavier flows. And just knowing that it's okay to take medicine for your cramps, it's okay to use a heating blanket for your cramps. Like, I know for me, I like to act like I'm big and bad and so tough, and I try to test myself to see how long I can go without having any kind of outside factors to help with me, and I still do this. But it's just like ludicrous. Like, just use the tools that you need to help you feel better. Like, we already go through so much pain in life as a woman that you don't need anything else added on. And when you are using either a tampon or a cup, make sure you're squatting down to put it in. And if you guys need, like, if you're interested in specifically the cup, because I am like, I don't know too much anymore about using tampons or pads, just because that's not what I've used and haven't used in quite a long time. I'm more used to the cup now. So if you want like more specific information about that, just let me know. Because when I first started out, it took me a while to get used to it, and it took me a while to know, like, I guess, how to navigate it. I don't know how to explain that, but you guys know what I mean. But I'm so glad I did, because it's so much more comfortable and it carries so much. But yeah, I'll get off my soapbox now. So for my next one, I have that are gonna feel way bigger than they actually are. And sometimes you just need to sleep on something. Sometimes you need to just give it a couple days to really think about, is this problem really as big as I think it is? Or am I just kind of flipping out right now in the moment? And need to just kind of take a step back and look at the situation from an outward perspective to know if it actually is as grandiose as you think that it is. I am an emotional girl, and I get overwhelmed and I get really amped up about things super easily, like at the drop of a hat, especially when I was younger, when so much of your body is changing and you feel like you're going insane. That it's good to just give yourself some time to really think about things. Don't make any like life altering decisions without really thinking about it or getting someone else's opinion, because sometimes we see our lives in a tunnel vision and we can't see anything outside of that. This one's like kind of like goofy, silly, but I feel like it's such a good thing to have. And it's to have a comfort movie slash a show or like whatever. And for me, my comfort movies are number one, Clueless, number two, Legally Blonde, number three, Breakfast at Tiffany's. I think that's my top three. That's definitely my top three. Like, anytime I feel like super down on myself, anytime I feel like sick or something like that, or anytime like whatever, I always turn to one of those movies to watch because it just makes me feel alive again. And I don't know what it is about those. I just feel like those movies embody like who I am. So when I watch them, I feel more myself. I don't know if that makes any sense, but just find something that you can watch, something you can turn to that you know that after you watch this, you're going to feel a little bit better. You're going to feel a little bit more grounded, because when I come out of it, I feel like so good. Like, I feel like I've watched all those movies a million times by now, and I know them pretty much by heart. So, for my next one, I have you don't have to be in a relationship to be fulfilled in life. And this one is, I feel like, so important for young girls, especially because we have so much pressure on us to have someone like us, have someone want to be with us, be in a relationship. And you see other people, maybe when you're in middle school, high school, being in these little relationships and stuff like that, and you want to have that experience also. But just knowing that that's not, you don't have to go down that path. There's nothing wrong with being in a relationship when you're younger, as long as it's, healthy and stuff like that, but it's really not necessary, and I honestly wouldn't really recommend it, to be honest, just because during that time you are trying to figure out yourself so much that you really can't focus on anyone else at that time. You need to focus on who you're trying to be and just getting through hormones in life, to be honest. When I was in middle school, I didn't have any relationships at all, and I saw my friends have some, and I would be like kind of jealous because I felt like maybe, I don't know, you just have that feeling that you want to be picked, you want to be liked by others. And when you're in that period in your life, it like outside validation is so important to you, especially by your peers. Like that is so important, and you feel like an outsider, and just know that having that outside validation does not make you who you are. For my next one, I have anyone that is trying to bring you down is already beneath you. You are growing into a young adult and into an adult, you're going to come across so many people that are trying to bring you down, so many people that trying to belittle you, so many people that try to bully you, that trying to make you feel weird about yourself just because you're being yourself. When you come across people like this, you just have to know that they are struggling with their own inner demons. They're struggling with their own insecurities. They're struggling with their own self-worth and their own view of themselves. And you just have to take that as it is. You can't hold on to other people's issues and make it your own. You have to know that people like to hurt others just to try to make themselves feel a little bit better, and they might not even be doing it purposefully. They might not even know that they're really doing it, but just know that it doesn't have anything to do with you. You don't need to take on that. So for my next one, I have wear what makes you feel comfortable, whether that be you dressing up super nice every day to school or to work or whatever position you are in life, whether that be dressing down, whether that be something that is a specific aesthetic that you like to go along with. Wear whatever makes you feel the most comfortable, the most confident, because at the end of the day, that's really all that matters. And you shine so much brighter when you feel confident in yourself. It's such a huge difference. And don't worry about what anyone else is thinking, what anybody else is saying. We are all our own unique people, and we're all going to have our own likes, our own dislikes. Not everyone is going to be gravitated towards what you have going on, but that doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. So my next one is that you don't need to have your life figured out. There's so much pressure, especially when you're in high school, to know what you want to do in life, what you want to do after you graduate, that it's just so unrealistic. Like, how are you supposed to know what you want to be doing for the rest of your life when you're only 17, 18? Like, that's crazy. Like, you're way too young to know what you want to do, honestly. And it's, even if you do know what you want to do, it's probably going to change over the years anyway. So don't put any pressure on yourself to know what you want to be doing, what school you want to go to, what job you want to have, what you want to do with your life. Like, honestly, every single adult has no idea what they want to do with their life anyway. And when I was in high school, I thought I had everything figured out. I knew what school I wanted to go to. I already got accepted. I knew what job I wanted to do when I grew up. I knew what I wanted my life to be like. And majority of that is not reality. So just don't put so much on yourself. Like, it's not that big of a deal. You'll figure it out in time. You'll figure it out through experiences. You'll figure it out through lessons. And you never know what life is going to throw at you that's going to change your mind. So, the next one that I have is don't beg for people's attention or people's love, anything like that. Being a girl, especially if you are an emotional one, and when you're younger, it's so hard not to try to chase after people, not to try to get people to like you, not to try to get people to answer you back, text you back. Like, just know that whatever is for you will come for you. Like, you will find your love, you will find your friend, you will find whatever it is that you're looking for without you having to beg them for anything. My next one is don't be afraid to ask for help, whether you are struggling in a class, whether you're struggling with a relationship, whether you're struggling in a friendship, whatever it is. Okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for advice. You're not less of a person. You're not stupid just because you need help with something. There's so many times that I wish I had asked for help and it would have helped me out so much and made me more successful versus me just suffering in silence and hoping that someone would just come give me the advice and give me the help that I needed without actually reaching out for it. And for my next one, I have cry it out, and I cry so much. I cried so much more when I was younger, especially, and just know that it's okay to cry. Like, it doesn't matter what gender you are, just cry. Like, it will make you feel so much better when you're done, when you get it out. Just do what you gotta do to get that emotion out, because if you let it build up and you don't let it have an escape, end up being so much worse. And you really, and having that release is so therapeutic and so good for your body. You can't hold on to big emotions like that. For my last one, I feel like this can be the most important, especially if you're a young girl. Trust your instincts. If you feel like you're in a dangerous situation, if you feel like you're around people that don't have your best interests at heart, if you feel like you are in a relationship that is not for you, that's unhealthy, get out. Trust your instincts, trust your intuition, and trust yourself enough to evaluate a situation, evaluate a person, to know whether or not it's good for you. So many times I would doubt myself and be like, maybe I'm overthinking this, maybe I'm being a Debbie Downer, maybe I need to just like lighten up, it's not that bad. No, it is that bad. It is that bad. And you need to move on and just leave. Like, it's okay. It's okay if you are out with your friends and someone offers something and you turn it down. That's fine. If you are made to feel like that's not fine, those are the people that aren't for you. If you're in a relationship and you're pressured to do anything, know that it's okay to say no. It's okay to walk away. And if you are made to feel uncomfortable in that situation, know that that person is not for you. You just have to trust yourself, trust your intuition, and don't let people test your boundaries. Don't let people test you, because they will. They will. And the more that you let people push you, and push you, it's just going to get worse. They're going to feel like they can walk all over you. They're going to feel like you are weak. And especially being a girl, a young girl, you need to have your best interests at heart at all times, no matter what. You guys, thank you so much for watching another video with me. I hope that you learned something, you got something to take away from this. And if you have any more like requests for video topics or anything like that, just let me know down in the comments. And I will definitely be putting out another video for like advice like this, like big sis advice. So if you have a specific topic that you kind of want me to hit on or anything like that, just let me know also so that I can get to it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for coming. I'll see you next time. Bye, you guys.